Yo, what up? This is Blazed. Alright, so in Cataclysm, Shaman's getting a bunch of new abilities. I think there's like 9 new baseline abilities. First up, you got Bind Elemental here. Basically, it's like Banish from Warlock. You can only use it on elementals, but it does break the damage. So, it might be okay for when you first pull a pack or something, or you can use it to like interrupt a cast. But pretty niche. I don't think you'll be using it to interrupt the cast too much. But another decent ability you can use, CC for elementals, and then you're gonna have Hex for non-elementals, so for humanoids and beasts. So got pretty good CC if you need it in like Cataclysm Heroics or something. Alright, next up we got Spearwalker's Grace. Really good ability here. 2-minute cooldown. Basically allows you to cast while moving. Any shaman spells. You can also cast it like mid-spell. If you're like halfway through the cast, you can press this and then start walking mid-cast. So you don't have to press it before the cast. But you can obviously. Lasts for 15 seconds. Alright, next up we got Elemental Resistance Totem. Now this one's not really a new totem, so to speak, because you had a bunch of these in earlier expansions, but now they condensed it all into one. Only does Fire, Frost, and Nature. That's basically all you had before, I believe, so basically the same thing but all in one totem. Really good. You can also you have a glyph called Healing Stream Glyph. I think basically does the same thing. So if you have the room for this, you could just play this and then you get it for free with Healing Stream. But if not, you got Elemental Resistance Totem here. Alright, next up we got Primal Strike. This one's kind of mediocre. But I was getting some use out of it as Resto Ellie, but not much. But it's a melee attack. Does okay damage. I don't know if you use it as enhanced, but it is a melee attack for enhance. So maybe you'll use it. But I was getting use out of it as Resto Ellie. Like if Trash Bag's dead, your shock is on cooldown, you don't really have any more instant cast damage, and they're like 5% health. You just throw out a Primal Strike. It's decent. Decent damage. Does cost a decent amount of mana, but alright, next up we got Unleash Elements. This one's huge. Works for all 3 specs. It just depends on what imbue you have, and on the imbue it'll say at the bottom what the unleashing part does. So like for Earth Living, for instance, it does a heal. Like Wind Fury, it increases your attack speed for the next 6 swings. You know, they all have a effect when you unleash. And then it usually does like damage too, or healing. The unleash one does healing. The other ones do damage, but and then like Rock Biter, if you unleash, it's a taunt. So they all have different effects, but you know, Ellie will probably use Flame Tongue always. You know, Resto will always use Earth Living. Enhance, I don't know. I guess Wind Fury may use Flame Tongue. We'll see. But yeah, Unleash is another ability. You got 15-second cooldown. Depends on your weapon imbue what it does. Good ability though. Instant cast too. So next up, this one's actually going baseline to all 3 specs too. You got Healing Rain. So I don't know if you'll use it as Enhance and Ellie, but you can. You know, maybe it's downtime. You can just chuck it down when you're waiting in an intermission in a fight or something, or you just really need healing. But really good ability. You can also NS Healing Rain too. Throw it down with NS if you don't want to do the cast time. Really good for Resto though, and you get talents that buff it and stuff. So it's pretty big, actually. So pretty good ability here, Healing Rain. Alright, next up we got Ancestral Vision. This one's not really new because everybody had Mass Res back in normal Cata, but new since Wrath of the Lich King. You get a mass res. They just added to all the healer classes. 100-yard range, really nice. Usually you can't cast it while anybody in your group's in combat though, so one guy dies and your group keeps going, you'll need to do a normal res, but other than that, you can just mass res. Even if people like fall off the side in raids or dungeons, sometimes you can reach them even off the side. Really good range on that. Just mass res basically. Ancestral Vision. Alright, next up we got Greater Healing Wave. It's not really new, it's just a new thing they've been doing. They added like, every healer class has like a big heal, and then they have a smaller healer that does the same thing, same cast time, but costs less mana. Like Healing Wave here. Like it's about a third of the healing. Every healer class has this, basically of some sort. Basically like triple the heal, triple the mana cost. To an extent, it's not exactly triple, but yeah, it's gonna be your big heal. If you don't need that, you can just use the normal Healing Wave, but they're the same cast time, so you're gonna want to use Greater Healing Wave normally, but if you're trying to save mana, you can Healing Wave sometimes. But you always got Healing Surge, so I mean you Greater Healing Wave, you Healing Surge if they really need to heal. Otherwise, your Greater Healing Wave I think will be the main play, but you can Healing Wave. Next, last out of the baseline abilities, we got Totem of Tranquil Mind. Now this is basically Conqueror from last expansion for the Paladins. Put this down, 30% less casting and channeling time when damaged, and this stacks with all the talents from all the classes. So a lot of the DPS class trees, you gain like 70% knockback reduction. So this tops you to 100. The problem is it's like the same thing as Healing Stream and Mana Spring and stuff, so you can't have Healing Stream and Mana Spring down when you have this down, but still a really good totem. And if you're getting the increased range, I don't know if Enhancer Ellie will get this, because there's some pretty good talents in the Enhancer Ellie tree for those specs. But maybe you'll go down to here in one of them, or like Ellie or something. You get the no, it's not increased range anymore, it's just increased duration. So yeah, just a 30-yard range, which sucks, but good totem. Alright, now for Elemental, you're basically getting one new ability, everything else is the same. You're getting Earthquake. Earthquake's pretty huge. It has a cooldown in this expansion though, so can't just spam it or anything if you have enough like energy or whatever, but like in retail. But Earthquake's pretty cool. So I get enough mana, I'll chuck one down here, and you can it basically has a reticle. You can place it down like this, or you can cursor it, you know, boom, place it down here. Pretty big radius and stuff, pretty crazy animation in this expansion too. Yeah, pretty nutty, big AoE damage, nice to have. Really good talent. Next up we got Lava Lash, which is new for Enhance. Lava Lash kind of need basically 10-second cooldown, another single target ability you can use. Gets buffed if you have Flame Tongue on your offhand. So that's mainly when you'll be using it, I think. Maybe you'll use it outside of that, but I think you just put Flame Tongue on your offhand and press this on cooldown, basically. It's another insta-cast ability to go with Storm Strike. Or another single target, I should say. Single target ability. Pretty good ability. Lava Lash, another rotational ability you got as Enhance. And then I just wanted to show one other thing that changed. Fire Nova no longer goes off your totems. So now it goes off your Flame Shocks. And it's a shorter cooldown than Flame Shock, so I'm not sure what the optimal play will be now, but you can like Flame Shock, Fire Nova, and then your Fire Nova comes up before your next Flame Shock. So you might have to wait a second on it, throw out your second Flame Shock, and then Fire Nova again, or if the mobs are like dying, you just throw out your Fire Nova earlier. Just depends. And now it's like a shorter cooldown than it was in Wrath 2 without talenting it. So it's nice for all the specs. All the specs can Fire Nova. It doesn't seem as strong as it was in Wrath, but we'll see, I guess, with gear and everything. But it's a little different now. You don't need the totem there at all. You just need Flame Shock on an enemy and it explodes around them. And that's it for the new Shaman abilities in Cataclysm. This is Blazed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can